so sorry. Yeah. Commission for Information in our sister state, my own parent state, before we were excised. Of course, gratifyingly excised. My own sister, Commission for Information in Europe state. My mom, all that eminent personalities. My own senator actually. I'm an Ibadan boy, so he's my own senator. Senator Balogun, I'm so sorry. And my own party man. Other distinguished personalities here and the author. It's really a pleasure and a delight for me to be here at this book presentation by a reporter on his beat. Yinka is a very good friend of mine. He covered Ekiti very well as the bureau chief in charge of the Southwest for the Sun in the course of my period as governor in Ekiti State. But before then, our paths crossed the early days of The Guardian and how he was inducted into The Guardian by Venerable Fayemi Eluemizeze, of course, our guy at the top, Lightbone, and several other distinguished personalities. A fantastic reporter, although in the book, he gave an impression that he wasn't meant to be on the beat. He was a natural arts and entertainment reporter and would have done well, and he did very well as a features reporter under the leadership of the person he described in the book as so I've read this book and clearly I would recommend it for the simplicity of its language and of course for the literary exposition. You would think this is not a book by a news hound, but a book by a novelist when you read it, because the way he conveyed his points about violence, even when he was writing about the Akada governor who got thrown away by the stomach infrastructure in the book, I done us a huge favor, and I really do hope that others who have passed through this experience would also pick up their pen and write in the manner that Yinka has done, covering his 30-odd years of journalism and traversing the various political beats. There are many stories that can be recommended in the book. I would urge you to read the exchange, his coverage of Baba Adedibu in the book, which nearly got him into trouble when he reported the local dynamics of Ibadan politics and how some latter-day politicians surrounding Kolapo Ishola as governor wanted to take over the stage from Baba Adedibu and how he responded in like manner, including almost dealing with Yinka in the appropriate garrison. But since I'm unemployed, I read it overnight and I found it very, very engaging. So for me, it's really a pride to be here, to be associated with Yinka Fabowale, and to really say that this is a book that should be a recommended text in our journalism schools. Just covering some of those time-tested lessons of what you need to do when you're a cop reporter. How to cover government, your days in the horizon. And thankfully, Auntie is here to attest to the work that you did and that all of you did in the Lagos horizon. And then moving through to the Guardian, to the Sun, to your own newspeak, and still finding the time only you have for about a month. So that's really a very impressive editorial work that was done in the post. I guess it's credit and testimony to all those people you mentioned, particularly the chief of Razak Adeniba in the book, and all of the other people that you pay tribute for bringing you up in this profession, and really ensuring that you stay true to your values. Your chapter on Governor Jimobi, the late Governor Jimobi, spoke, apart from getting an advance copy for free, I would also try to do a bit of publicity for the book beyond this room. And since my brilliant lawyer that you've known in your Ibadan days from Emmanuel Chambers is still here, he can also do what your first editor in Horizon used to do, his understanding of press law, as you put it in the book, ensure that you don't get into trouble for any libelous or potentially libelous material in the book, especially when you're dealing with people like Baba Obasanjo, or your trouble with Chief S.M. Afolabi, as you recounted in the book, and many other people who may find the book engaging but not palatable to their personality. But for me, it's a book worthy of recommendation to all and sundry. Unfortunately, the culture of reading has died significantly in our society, and I don't even know if those of us in politics read at all, especially materials from journalists who we consider, all these journalists, they just come, they attack us, they say, you read us. Those of us who write, we also don't write. As a matter of fact, if you were to ask an average journalist about us, all they will say is that politicians are illiterate. We have nothing in our head. It's only sawdust that that's one perspective that you get, but definitely not from this experienced room full of journalists, where they know that some of their own are also we found our way to the other side of the divide, which is really an artificial divide. Because if all we're interested in how to improve the condition of our people, particularly the large majority of our people, then we're on the same side. If we think the same way and we want that improvement to happen, maybe not in a hurry, since journalists who have either left the profession or are leaving the profession will also do the same. Thank you.
Everybody's put out together once again for His Excellency Dr. John Fayemi, Special Guest of Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, while His Excellency was on his feet, the reviewer of the book joined us in the room. Shola Osunkeye, CNN African Journalist of the Year 2006. Most welcome, sir. Move over to the responsibility table here, sir.
For not coming on time.
Okay, all right. The secret gets Mr. Yinka Fabowale, Mrs. Ibilola Fabowale. Round of applause for her, please. Fabowale. Let's say at this juncture, this is the time that all of us have been waiting for, the review of the book, A Reporter and a Speed by Mr. Yinka Fabowale. Can we please put our hands together for the reviewer, Mr. Shola Oshope, to do justice?
Thank you very much. It wasn't intended, and I have no cause to want to disrespect this August guy, especially my brother Fabowale, who has done this great job for all of us. I hope I'm forgiven. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I came in while His Excellency, the former governor of my state, Ekiti State, and also my very good brother-in-law, who graciously gave me my wife about 42 years ago. But each time I feel bad about something and I see Governor Fayemi, I tell him that I want to return their daughter to him. And his standard, especially when I'm hungry.
And with the children.
Yes. And his standard question has always been seek the permission of the chairman to say, please sir, the book is presented as review. You will not command your okay. So let me do my job here. Here I go. The title of the book, A Reporter and His Beat, is unique in its simplicity and elegance. It contains 40 chapters wrapped in 258 pages and spread over 7 parts. For the first part to the last, from the first part to the last, Mr. Fabowale, my brother, displays the infinitive abilities of an alchemist and an illustrious mastery of the English language to deliver a compelling edition of the journalism model. He uses powerful descriptive imagery and skillfully that entices the reader and showcases the book's timeless significance in a concise yet expressive manner. A Reporter and His Beat is enthralling in both content and aesthetics. It is authoritative and factual. It is convincing and credible. It lures the reader, as it did me, and locks the reader down till he reads the last word of this beautiful memoir of information and culture. Despite being a purely civil service outfit, the job offered a near perfect ambience for the young journalist to hone his skill, his writing skill. It also exposed him to other critical aspects of journalism and the newspaper business, like proofreading, column writing, feature writing, arts and literary review. In addition to the God factor, which he profusely underscores in the book, other success factors that crystallize from the author's early encounters as captured in the early parts of the book are integrity, thirst for requisite knowledge, constant reading, ability to mine the library as it were, because research, as he says, is the oxygen of effective reporting. You have to have information because before you can do a copy that will tell the story in an effective manner. You understand that. You also understand adequate preparation for opportunities. Because if opportunities come, but he felt encouraged as well to be treading the same path that these giants and icons tread. It means God has something for being here. So with determination, he made up his mind that Garden, Brother Mouse, was the place to be. And this was a time when you have the great, the legendary Lade Bonola, Uncle Ladbon, as the managing director, and our irrepressible Uncle Fayemi as the editor. This was the guardian that briefed the superstars like Esuche Ubani, Osita Chidoka, Osman Shodikwe, Ariel Torrens, the African American, and a lot, and many more stars and columnists who know same president and dare ignore. I'm talking of people like Oun Chekajeme, Professor Shulman, I've mentioned them. However, my brother, despite this, surmounted this invitation and made his mark, had to add the second time postponed or delayed. By the way, for those of us who may not know, stomach infrastructure is a euphemism for vote bank and other electoral force. After enduring the 4 years of PDP, the good people of Ekiti, however, got wiser and voted Fayemi back, and his great deeds endure. Over to that. The reader will enjoy this thrilling account from page 104. I was told that I have just 10 minutes to do this assignment, and I've been seated. Sorry. So, otherwise, I will quickly also remind us that, or tell us that the author not only did not restrict himself to his odyssey in journalism. He also went on a spiritual excursion. Factor in everything that he did, which is why he said he had to follow his heart when he was at a crossroad as to whether to continue with Lagos Horizon or go to the Guardian. At the end of the day, when he took the decision to go to the Guardian, it was based on his faith, on his unshakable faith in God, that whatever land his feet touch will be blessed for him, and he will prosper, and he actually prospered. There is also, I've mentioned Ibadan, where God led you to do great stories that define your essential journalism, where God also led you to important people in our country that helped you to get all those great interviews. And of course, this is not also mentioning your prowess in literary activities, which you exhibited in the.
Ladies and gentlemen, without taking too much of our time, you about to say the time now is the presentation of the book, a reporter and his beat by Mr. Yinka Fabowale. But before I hand over the microphone to the presenter, I'd like to quickly recognize the presence of the following people. I learned that the MD of the Sun newspaper, Mr. Onoa Oke, is in the house. Can we please put our hands together for his presence? You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We also have in our midst Mr. David Idoru Sunday, an in-law to Mr. Fabowale. He's from Uganda. I would please appreciate him. His wife, Mr. David Idoru Sunday, and his wife came all the way from Uganda. You're welcome, sir. I will please put our hands together. You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And Mrs. Tolu Baker is in the house. Can you please stand up for recognition? Mrs. Tolu Baker. You're welcome. And we also have in our midst the chairman of the NUJ Correspondent Chapel, Oyo State, representing the NUJ chairman, Mr. Ademola Bola, the president of Mr. Raji Adebayo. Can you please stand up for recognition? You're welcome, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And I'd also like to recognize the presence of Mr. Dipo Kayode, former crimes editor, the Sun newspaper. Mr. Dipo Kayode, you're welcome. Okay, are these juncture, ladies and gentlemen? Mr. Chairman, sir, the governor of the district is Ademola Olateju. This is Fabowale Ademola Olateju representing the governor of the state, and indefatigable Arakuni Uwaroti Akinolu. The time all of us have been waiting for is here. And at this juncture, I'd like to hand over the microphone to the presenter of the book, Prince Lateef Fayemi, SAN. Can we please put our hands together for him?
Confess, and I think I've said it 2, 3, 4 times. I am not the good protocol man. So I always want to indulge or have some people speak before me so that I can leverage an existing protocol. I therefore crave indulgence to leverage an existing protocol so it is established by previous speakers. I want to especially welcome the representative of the governor of the state, and my governor, the governor of governance, Dr. Fayemi. I'm happy to be here. My relationship with the author runs about 3 decades. And before today, as a farmer, and as dealing with about the governorship petition in Osun State. And I told my colleagues, I'm beginning to see, but let me do whatever I can do. Whatever I could do yesterday, because today I will not be available. Because even if Yinka forgives me, I will not. I'll find it difficult to forgive myself. I have listened to the people who have responsibility, who are in doubt to, tell us about the worth of the book. I don't want to say that Yinka is good, but if you look at the area of people here, those who gave him or showed him the way, how much do you want to give them? They are not after money, but they are all here. Each one of us has a choice of where to go. And for one reason or the other, you can easily avoid this gathering. And it will be tenable. Oh, you come, sorry, you didn't contribute. Instead of, talking about your own situation, you'll be lamenting. You don't say, just take it easy. That you are here. Yinka, Fabowale is a very tedious and dutiful person. Very loyal friend. And he has integrity. And that is what, to me, I remember when I became a senior advocate in 1996. I took things for granted. Just by the roadside, I wanted to buy ball. You still remember? And he said, I said, what is it? He said, hey, you're out. I said, what? I said, no, go to the office and send somebody to buy. I said, is it an imprisonment or prison? He said, no. That is what the new status requires of you. Buy some balls. You can go to their website, ask them to buy for you. If you do it next time, we'll pick it. What can you pick it? Say, we'll pick it. That's all right. Apart from that, we have shared so many things together. Found him to be.
Same munchies money by
No, it's not. It's for us here. It's excellency.
I'm making the headline. I'm a reporter.
Anyway, he's is very straightforward. Believe me. You know, if you cannot say something in his presence, at least you will say it behind him, or you will say it in such integrity. It is about money you don't have, but what you have that is stronger than money is what has, sort of commanded everybody there to be present. You look to your left, you see your boss, tell magazine editor in chief. In those days, we buy tell magazine, and Uncle B, Chief Bola is your blessed memory. Digest no, yes. I mean, that was what how the fear of terror was the beginning of wisdom. We will buy it, buy 2 copies. And say, share it car. So we have read it. So I respect, and we were warned that 3 institutions you must always accord recognition to judiciary. I am here to celebrate with you, and your joy of inestimable value. My colleagues will have been here in chambers. I start from Mr. Chief Akim. Afolabi, the 2 of us couldn't leave the tribunal, so I just give moments of knowledge to give me to complicate here. Well, this is the book. It has been extracted from cover to cover, from the first page to the last page. It's very glossy, but the content, they say the taste of the film and the eat. Those who have gone through, people have very short notice to read that. And so what to get or what to expect from here. And cravings of our institutions, starting with the university. And just one second. The notes and cravings. Now, I have been told that, like I said, if you get to the universities, my belief is that it is by so doing that we can disseminate information. Therefore, before I make my own announcement, Chief Hakim Afolabi, my partner in chambers, who is otherwise engaged because the 2 of us cannot leave issue, but has asked me to in presenting it, say that he would take you for 50,000 naira. Fayemi, a particular senior advocate of Nigeria, who, for reasons he has discussed or revealed to the author, asked me to represent this for him on his behalf for 250,000. Now, others will come, but for me, 30 years, I don't know how to present it. Somebody,
1 million per year.
Sir? 1 million
1 million per year.
Since you say at your, I mean, agree with you that each of the Nigerian universities, especially these federal government universities, will give 2 copies. And at the end of the day, I will present this for 5 million. Wow. Before we go back to your seat, please, I'd like to invite His Excellency as well.
No, His Excellency is here.
Okay, the 2 excellencies. The 2 excellencies.
Chairman in Southwest Governors Forum.
Yes, I understand. But then we have your person, the immediate pastor.
Ma, can you please introduce yourself, ma? My name is Bamidele Ademola Olateju, Honorable Commissioner for Information in Ondo State, representing my governor, Arakunrin Oluwarotimi Odunayo, Akeredolu, SANCON.
So, what few words, or what can you say about today's launching of Yinka's
Like I
book
said,
launch?
not enough books are written in all facets of Nigerian society. I think more books should be written. Mr. Fabowale needs to be commended for his effort. People spoke of his integrity, his loyalty, his commitment to friendship. Those are values that we should all hold dear. And I congratulate him for having put all his experiences down so younger people can learn from him.
Your name again, ma.
Bamidele.
Thank you.
Are you talking to me? Good
Yeah.
afternoon, my
Can you please introduce yourself, ma?
My name is Mrs. Fabowale Ibilola,
Wife to
the wife writer of the, when is it the author of the book, a reporter and his mate. The author is my husband, and like I give God Almighty the glory for the success of this
book
program,
launch.
book
Yes.
launch.
Okay.
And also, like my husband used to say, and I thank God that this come to reality in his life. He always said journalism is his calling. Now I'm now saying it as his calling truly, because he doesn't play with writing, reading, especially writing. It's like it's my calling. And I'm saying, why are you reading? If I see him reading these on these chats,
Okay.
WhatsApp chats, I'm doing my job.
Online, yes.
I say, which job are you doing? Please attend to me. Listen to me. Yinka will always say, this is my calling. Lola, I'm doing my job. Let me. And I thank God for the success of this, the outcome. This
So, what can you say about the book, ma? Just
the
few
book.
words.
Well, like the
Reporter and
I've said anything of this reporter and his bits.
okay.
And I just say, people like, in fact, as a journalist, just go and buy the book.
Yeah.
You will find it useful, because my husband, doing his service in this job, he loves exclusive stories, and maybe the hazards they are facing in this don't know how to interact with people and our talents.
People who are most excoriated in this book are politicians. So to that end, I'm going to buy copies for my colleagues in the Nigerian Governors Forum. I'm no longer work for them, but I'll buy copies for the 36 current governors of Nigeria. So that, and I will encourage them to read it and share the lessons learned from our brother Yinka with their own team in their states. When you have journalists of integrity who are exemplars, it's best to work with them than to keep paying some people the insulting brown envelopes in order to get good coverage in newspapers, because it will not be enduring unless you do the right thing and you get challenged by professionals in the business. You won't learn from mistakes and you will not improve on what you're doing. So to this end, I like to buy copies for any that there are, but I guess Yinka will do the mathematics, will do the arithmetic and let me know. But I know how many.
Recognize the presence of Mr. Fayemi, Executive Secretary, Nigerian Newspapers Proprietors Association of Nigeria. Thank you. We also have the amazing Mr. Ayo. I've done that. Mr. Charles, yes, I've done that. Okay, at this point, let me quickly hand over the microphone to Mr. Shola Oshokeye to conclude the book review. Another round of applause for Fayemi, please.
It's not, Your Excellency, it's just a paragraph. That where I noted that when a journalist dies without writing a book, it's a challenge to me and to my colleagues there who are yet to have the opportunity that my brother has. That when a journalist dies without writing a book, that a life reborns, and that indeed if a journalist dies without writing a book, he is like a fabulously rich man who dies intestate. His legacies cannot be guaranteed.
Mr. Chairman, sir, and I would like to say, honorable members of the ITO, I want to take your indulgence and stand on the existing protocol. I want to say this, that I'm here representing the chairman, and I know the chairman will get back to the writer of the book. I hope you are in good communication with him. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the author was my colleague in fact.
Colleague? Colleague?
Your reporter.
He was now.
You are colleagues in
You don't ask him to elaborate on the colleague. He's colleague.
For those who don't know the meaning of that, some years ago, myself and the leader of Motive went to Osuka to see Baba Nnamdi Azikiwe. And he said, you are my colleagues, you came all the way from Lagos. So I think you should understand the meaning of that. This is very grateful. And it's a challenge to all other journalists to try and write something. Writing should not be left to politicians. We live by the word, and therefore we should not substitute ourselves. Write about others, we also write about ourselves. Some media houses, including in the past, the government allowed government officials from level 8 and above to have a minimum of one newspaper per day and one magazine a week or per month. That allowed the circulation of newspapers and magazines to be enormous in the country. And therefore, by the time I was a reporter for the national conference in Akure, our circulation in those days was about 20,000 every day. So, one more copy, because I have a copy already, I'm going to take one more copy for an undisclosed song. I am not a retired person, but I think you should just allow me to take that one copy now. Thank you very much for your support and congratulations. This is Fabowale, congratulations too. Thank you very much, congratulations. It's a great thing. No journalist can perform very well if he remains unmarried. So we thank our wives for what they are doing. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give you a congratulations on this
and other members on the higher table. Thank you very much. I will get a copy now and get across to Otto for more copies for the university.
Okay, how much of a compendium is a book for the profession of journalism?
It is a comprehensive compendium. It may not be organized, codified, how to practice journalism book, but it speaks to the right values of the profession and refer those back to the halcyon days of the journalism profession. This is a journalist who had traversed very many segments of the profession, particularly the print journalism. Worked at the Lagos Horizon, moved on to the Guardian, from the Guardian to Tel Magazine, from Tel Magazine to Sun, and now in the twilight of his career in journalism by publishing his own newspeak. And I learned a lot from what I read in the book. Some of the things he said I'm very familiar with. Uh, Being one of those who ran away from the Guardian, because he said some people could not tough environment that the flagship really, I hope, continues to represent even now. But he also speaks to the challenge of relationship building. Working in journalism, he built a lot of long-standing relationships with some of the icons in journalism, in politics, and he also underscored the importance of standing up for what you believe in, focusing on integrity, on solid professionalism, and where he made mistakes, he even referred to those mistakes in the book, and why apologies had to be rendered on occasions that he had to render them. So for me, it's a useful compendium for cub reporters because it went into the detail of the practicalities of training young journalists who are coming into the profession. We went into the Guardian, agreeing on, and met the legends of the profession, right from the guy at the top who trained us, Ladbo, Mr. Ladebonola, to the legendary Femi Kusa, to Udu Kaira Ward, the news editor at the time, and several others, Fred Owawa, Razak Adedigba, Rahim Adedoyi. The book is for those who may not be aware of what transpired in those really, really good old days of Nigeria's journalism. They can see that, but they can also see where the irrepressible nature of the media comes from. When you read the Nigerian.
Can we meet you, sir? Your name again?
My name is Latif.
Yes, what can you say? You've said a lot while the program was going on, but can you just say one or two things that you can say about the book?
Well, you know that what the book brings with it chronicles the experience of the author on very crucial issues which have the tendency of mentoring the upcoming ones. Let them know that the road to the top is rough and bumpy, but it's like there's light at the end of the tunnel. That, of course, presupposes that inside the tunnel is a bit dark. We have to persevere. We have to keep our heads, above water and continue to. We also believe in the power of prayer. So I commend him. I like his I love the fact that he has high integrity. He's always loyal to whatever cause that he embarks upon.
Thanks, sir. Please, can you introduce yourself?
I'm Professor Ben Uzor, Chancellor and President, African American University.
What can you say about the book launch of Mr. Yinka? What can you say about the book launch that we?
Highly successful, classic.
Have you read it?
I've read briefly about it.
Okay, so can you say a little bit of the content?
It's actually a guide, actually for upcoming journalists on how to go about their career in journalism. And apart from that, the field of scholarship for mass communication and also for those who are intending writers, particularly writing about the society, about the events, to be a source of strength.
So what advice do you have for Mr. Yinka, the author of the book?
To continue the way he has been participating and practicing the matter, should continue to improve further and also continue to do better. And also practice without background policies, principles, philosophy that he has been coming with should continue.
Okay, your name again, sir?
Professor Ben Uzor, Chancellor and President, African American University.
We do have a Nigerian Media Code of Education Corporation, and the provisions are very clear as to the fact that as journalists covering elections, we must try as much as possible to be factually accurate. And we must understand that there are those who will want to deliberately mislead journalists. If you like, those who will likely misinform us. And we see that because politicians want to score points. They want to give the impression that they have huge crowds at their rallies. So we have seen a situation where spokespersons of political parties try to manipulate facts. Sometimes they manipulate images, they manipulate videos. And that is why the whole question of
Well, simply because I'm a journalist. I've not been about 35 years journalism. It's a profession I have great passion for. I have fulfillment. But along the way,
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Tunji.
As the MC of today, what can you say about the book that we've just launched today?
Well, I want to commend the author. Actually, it's a great thing, for anybody who desires knowledge, who wishes to develop himself, intellectually. It is one sure thing that one has got to get. The book is good for, especially students of journalism who wish to know more about the ropes of the trade.
So, any advice for the author?
Well, he is already, a seasoned journalist, so I don't think I want to. I don't think I have any advice for him that anyway to find more means to produce more copies so that people can get to have it.
So your name again, sir?
My name is Tunji.
Thank you, sir.
so how well have we done it? For instance, the training, not necessarily judging, but as a representative. So develop those abilities to the best and deploy it for the good of that sphere, enhance it and to the benefit of the people and the nation.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can you please introduce yourself?
My name is Yinka Fabowale. I'm a journalist.
Okay, so what can you tell us about your book?
About?
Your book that you launched today. A reporter's and his bits.
Well, it's a book that I felt very deeply stirred into writing. I've not been about 35 years of practice in journalism. It's a profession I have very, very great passion for and that I found fulfillment. All I try to do is to curate my experiences in the course of my career for practitioners as reminders, for younger ones coming into the profession, to guide them. Where are the strengths that can make them reach the peak of their career, be an ideal journalist, a successful journalist, a thoroughbred journalist, and what are those pitfalls? I also look at the media settings, that's the media ecology, the media environment. How have we affected society? How have we impacted it? The major reason for our existence is to help improve the society in all aspects. How well have we done it? What are those factors that militate against the fulfillment of that vision or that goal, that objective, and
How well have we fared? But in all this, I've not tried to be judgmental. But like I said, as a reporter, I can't but be critical, mirroring ourselves at various levels of analysis, at the personal, to the sectoral, to the regional, and to the national. And what do you find? That there has been somewhat um, some declining quality of professionalism. And from my experience and from what I had to say, I also tried to provide solutions. But in all this, I was only telling stories. I embedded my message, I embedded them, or embedded it in the narrative. When you pick it up, you think you are reading a novel or you're watching a very good thriller or movie. That's all I try to do for readers to now pick and get some lessons. And very gratifying, uh, reviewers, critics have given it very uh, positive reviews. That it's worth recommending even as text, even if it is as supplementary reading for students of communication, students of history, students of political science, and students of mass communication.
Excellency, former governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Fayemi said that people hardly read these days. And this kind of book is what everybody, not only just journalists, need to read about. So how do you think we can get this across to everybody? Though the media will try their best, but for those that don't just want to read at all, how can we pass this message across to them?
Well, I must say that I don't quite agree with that view that people don't read. Although, generally speaking, you will know that illiteracy, even for those who are literate,
Yes.
in Africa, people hardly read. Perhaps because of a lot of existential factors. You know, people struggle, they are contending with a lot of things, and others are generally lazy and so on.
Yes.
But studies and research have people read a lot. It is the pattern of reading that has changed.
Yeah.
People may not be comfy with um, putting a nice book volume in front of them, but they're going online. You are holding phones, they're reading their WhatsApp, their Facebook, and so on and so forth. So, what a writer needs to do is to try and meet them in those new media where they are, surfing, and that's the social media. So we have also this is also going to be on Amazon for people and at very very cheap cost. I think I put $9. So it will be available for people to read. But it's a book without trying to do any merchandising. It's a book I think that's worth everyone, not even just journalists, but everybody to read about.
Can people get to buy it?
Thank you very much. It's just 10,000 naira, 10K. For now, people can get it from the publishers. Floyd Publication is based in Ibadan. Goodwill, no, sorry, Uncle Joe's building, the third floor, close to the Guardian office, is where it could be. Or 4 Idewolede Estate, Idiomo, also in Ibadan. That's off Ojo Arunebo Road. We can have it courier to them. It can also be found at Happy's Recreation here. And it will be in major bookshops like University of Lagos bookshop, bestsellers, Ibadan, as well as University bookshop, University of Ibadan. Major bookshops are going to have stocks.
quite very soon. You see, the idea though is to get it affordable. That's the essence of this uh, organizing these launching. It's not necessary to raise funds. It's to raise as much funds to do a reprint so that if it's mass, the cost of production will have been taken care of, and we can make the price quite affordable for people to be able to afford the book and read, because the essence is for them to benefit.
So can you tell us story so far a little bit? We know it's inside the book, as in when you started as a reporter, things you faced, challenges and all that, which everything looks like a story when you are reading. So can you just tell us a bit of it, which we young journalists can learn from?
Well, I started actually, you won't believe it, in the Ministry of Information State, um, having won um, National Youth Service called NYC Merit Award. I was given automatic employment by then Governor Mike Kayode. But it wasn't too long before my bosses realized that this boy has talent in writing, and they encouraged me to even write for Times International, which is one of the titles in the staple of Daily Times then. And every week I find myself going there to collect claims of what I wrote as a freelance. From there, when the Lagos state government was establishing a state newspaper, Lagos Horizon, I was among the 5 information officers, or 6 rather, deployed there as pioneer staff. We did what we could, got it off, and then professionals hired from um, the Daily Times, which was the biggest media house, print media house there. So they took me through the mill and exposed me to a lot. They stretched me, and it was in the process of stretching me that I developed. I learned a lot from them. Proofreading, editing, rewriting, even editorial writing. I was the youngest member of the editorial board, where I developed argumentative skills and persuasive skills. So, and I was also anchoring arts and entertainment. From there, people felt, you are a star. Why don't you move on to a bigger ocean, media ocean of Nigeria? But it was an incitement, because the Guardian, where they said I should go, that they felt was my right habitat, proved very tough. It was a galaxy of stars, so I had to battle. And you'll find out a lot of humor and wit about my experiences in those places, because I almost lost confidence in myself. But at the end of the day, very soon I became one of the best, even there, that enough to be even deployed or posted out to man a whole outstation. That is Ibadan, and Ibadan is a regional capital, so to speak. So from there, being on my own, I was also able to develop some independence, and I could exercise initiative. I also got a lot of shakers and movers of Nigeria, people who made history, people like Chief Bola Ige, people like Chief Richard Akijide, Chief Afe Babalola. The whole place was also home to major literary figures like Lee Oshudari, the poet, um, um, the playwright, Professor Dapo Adelugba. The same with Professor Fayemi and quite a number of them. So I met Chief Adedibo, Labidi Adedibo, ran a lot of dangers because of the kind of stories I did. It was from there that I also moved when some of my bosses were going to the Comet, which turned into the nation today. that although it was ill-fated sort of, because the fledgling newspaper had a lot of problems setting in at the beginning. So I had to move on. When issues that have now become a major issue in the media, overhead costs, making people making companies, management lay off people and so on and so forth, asking them, giving them slave wages. Even as at that time, it has already been said that, and it was a paper of promise, but what could it do? So I had to move on because there were also offers from Tribune, from The Punch, and from Tell Magazine. Tell Magazine was obviously the best in the country then, so I opted for Tell Magazine. It was also, to have the best brains there. But I moved on from there, went into the academy. I taught briefly at the Olabisi Onabanjo University in the mass comm department, CESA program, for a year or two. And then I went back to the journalism to strengthen or fortify the news team of the Sun newspaper. It was about a year or two. I was deployed to Ibadan again to man the entire Southwest as regional editor and Southwest Bureau Chief. Now, in that position, I wasn't only to lead my team on the field, that's the editorial team. To the glory of the Almighty, we were able to make business, a lot of business for the newspaper, despite the fact that it had a tag of being an Igbo paper because of the ethnic origin of the owner, Senator Ojiuzo Kalu. It was from there, that I left in 2018 and was invited to edit Newspeak magazine. It was a magazine that transformed from PR magazine to a news magazine. So I was asked to come in to give content to it. And by the grace of the Lord, we've been doing that, and people feel it's a classy magazine. It's an aesthetic appeal.
Thank you so much, Sir.
But maybe I should also add that on the side, I do a bit of broadcasting. I was at Space FM and anchored the flagship talk show. We called it Hard Talk. A lot of people also rated it, at least for the time I managed it. I handled it as very, very good.
Congratulations once again for the success of today's event.